It's California Edition. I'm Brad Pomerantz. We are joined today by Brian Dahle, coming to you from Sacramento, by the way. Brian is a member of the California State Assembly, representing beautiful parts of North State. I was in your district over the weekend. My cousin got married in Nevada City. What a beautiful part of the state. Tough life for you.
I got to tell you, Brad, I represent the northeastern part of the state.
Right.
7 full counties, part of 2 others, 9 counties. I have Lake Tahoe, I have 2 volcanoes. I got rivers and streams and forested areas, and it's a beautiful part of the state.
It is truly stunning. My aunt and uncle live in Nevada City, as I mentioned. Their backyard, it's just wooded forest, hummingbirds everywhere, bears kind of coming through, river through the center of the backyard. It's God's country.
It is God's country.
At the same time, though, there are some challenges facing these areas. We know we're in a drought, we know there's some fire danger, but we also know that as a result of Prop 215, which allowed for the cultivation of medical marijuana, that some parts of your district are turning into farms for that substance, sometimes legal, sometimes not. Tell us about it.
I had the opportunity to serve on the Board of Supervisors up in Lassen County for 16 years.
Yeah.
And so locally what has happened is it's made it easier to move marijuana around, and the laws are more conducive to people who are trafficking illegally even. So we have in the rural areas, there's lots of public land, there's water, like we talked about, little streams, and they clear the forest and plant these farms illegally. A lot of it's the cartel folks and those type of people. I remember back a few years back when they actually crossed the river from my farm. They had a shootout. I mean, it was
in Lassen
County, full-on shootout. One of our deputies got hit, and ended up one of the guys ended up dying. And it's serious business. There's a lot of money, and they're diverting streams. They're using pesticides and anticoagulants like rat poison, and they're killing wildlife.
And what does that do for the area generally? I mean, if pesticides are being used across the river from your farm, and you are a farmer, could those pesticides kind of leak into your areas?
Absolutely, they can get into the water source, the watershed. They're in the watersheds. It also, we abide by the state laws that are regulate all those uses of those type of chemicals and herbicides, and they're frankly don't have the licenses, and they're using stuff that isn't even legal to use. On top of that, there's hikers and people who are they're encroaching more, coming closer to where the trails are and the rivers and that type of thing because of the drought. They're moving closer into where people are interfacing with them, and it's unfortunate that we have all this beautiful land out there that people recreate in, and they're damaging the resource, and there's a scarcity of you can get hurt out there.
Here's the challenge right now. As you know, the California Supreme Court ruled, I believe it was last year, that municipal governments, cities, counties, whatever it may be, as a matter of zoning, may ban medical marijuana clinics. It was a 7-0 decision. I don't believe that decision talks specifically about cultivation. One could think by extrapolation it would, but I think the law is vague and silent on this point.
There is some. Obviously, the counties have the zoning ordinances, and that's basically where the rubber meets the road on even the Prop 215 legislation. The county has the right to do land use, So here's the challenging part, Brad, is I have 9 counties. All of them have different rules for their circumstances. Some have dispensaries, some don't. In our county in Lassen, where I was on the Board of Supervisors, we used it as they had to do a CEQA, was going to have to do an exemption to the general plan because we didn't have a zoning for that type of operation.
Can you tell us more about it when we come back? It's very important because a lot of issues are percolating in your area that relate to medical marijuana. Lots of legislation kind of pending as we move forward. For our viewers on HLN, thanks for joining us. For our other viewers, we'll be right back.